Go.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't see you there. I'm Joshua. I'm going to be your tour guide here and giving you your orientation in Maor Matza Bakery. So if you follow me, I'm going to give you a wonderful guide into the tour of Matza. Alright, here we are, cleaning all the tables. Everything's got to be cleaned. Have to make sure there's no chametz whatsoever on all the tables. Then we clean the bowls, make sure there's no chametz in the bowls, make sure everything's clean again, can't have any speck of water, any speck of flour. Put in the bowl now. In the bakery, this is where we're going to do all the mixing. Shmor flour is flour. You take it out of the ground. They thresh it. They cut it up and make sure that no water gets in it whatsoever from the time it's turned into flour, which we see here. You take this flour, we measure it out. It's got to be extremely precise. We use the same amount of flour every single time, and when we're making the matzah, that way we had a consistent product. Now Elisav's measuring it, and we're pouring the flour into the mixing bowl. We pour one. Every time we do this, we do a couple of them. Now, we start taking the mayim shilanu, which is water. It sits for 12 hours at least overnight, and we have it sit so that way it's cool. It doesn't cause the matzah to start baking on its own, so it doesn't become chametz. And now we take the mayim shilanu, and we pour it into the mixing bowl. As soon as we start pouring it in, that's when the timer starts, and we have 18 minutes to make sure that we mix the matzah and do everything with it, get it baking and on the table, and you get your matzah in 18 minutes. Elisav here is mixing all the matzah together really, really fast. He flies faster than the speed of sound with this thing. Gets the matzah all nice and kneaded up together. And he's taking it, make sure he gets everything out of the bowl, every last drop, so that we can make as much as possible. And we have Avraham over here, who's going to be mashing the matzah together, kneading it even better, so that way it makes a nice, good, consistent product, flipping it over and over to make sure it's all good and stable, and that way it's ready for everyone to go and cut the matzah so we can get all the pieces out to you. This process actually takes a while. It takes a few minutes for it to get ready and good to go. As you can see, this one's taking a little bit longer, but not a big deal. We'll make sure we've never had a problem. We get it all out in 18 minutes. And just as a reminder, and we'll remind you again at the end of the video, everything you're doing has to be for the mitzvah of matzah. So you're going to say, L'shem matzat mitzvah. You can say it, sing it, scream it. Doesn't matter to us. Everything you do is for the sake of the mitzvah of matzah and to make the matzah of mitzvah at Erev Pesach. And remember, the matzah you make yourself is better than any other matzah you can get because you're doing the mitzvah yourself. All right, now it looks like Abraham's almost done with the dough. He's rolling it out and ready to get it out to you guys on the table. See, he's rolling it, stretching it out so that way we can get enough pieces ready and we can get it enough so that way everybody who's at the table is going to be able to get a piece to make their own matzah. All right, Elisav's got the matzah now. We take it, he starts cutting it into pieces. Makes the incision in the matzah where exactly he wants it to be cut. And at each cut is where that's how big a piece you're going to get. This piece, we're cutting it into smaller pieces so that way everybody at the table can get a piece of matzah and you're all going to make your own. Now we see this piece, he takes it, flattens it out into a disc, and he flattens it, crushes it, he's got to get it all nice and compact. And then, once it's all compacted ready, then we're going to get it out to you guys and you're going to start rolling your own matzah. This is how you're going to roll your matzah. Elisav's showing you, you roll it. Every time you roll it, you rotate it, so that way none of the matzah gets stuck to the floor or to the table. And make sure your roller doesn't fall on the floor, because if it does, the roller becomes chametz. Rolling the matzah takes a long time, not as much as it takes to knead it, but rolling the matzah and making sure it's nice and good and big and thin, that's the most important thing. It's got to be consistent, and it has to make sure that all the edges are thin so that way it doesn't burn and get stuck. What Elisav's doing right now is he's actually fixing a rip in the matzah. Sometimes it happens. Don't worry if it does. We'll make sure to help you out. Now, once the matzah is ready, you take the radler and you roll holes in the matzah so that way when you bake it, the air doesn't get trapped under the matzah and cause it to bubble up and burn. Look at all those holes. Once the holes are done, then you take the stick, we wrap the matzah around the stick, and we take it, and Rabbi Korkis is going to put it in the oven. Now this oven is extremely hot. Please don't touch it, kids. But the oven here can cook matzah in as little as 15 seconds when it gets as hot as it can be. As you can see, all it does is sit, bam, it's got the stick, and we're going to start pulling this matzah out momentarily. Wow, look at that. It's smoking, it's hot, it looks delicious. I cannot wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's it. Everything on the table now, if it's not out and on its way to the oven, is now chametz. Can't do anything with it anymore. And look at that fire. Look how hot that is. Like I said, kids, do not touch the oven. It's very important you don't touch the oven. We do not want you to get hurt.
Alright kids, are you ready to bake some matzah? First you need to clean your hands, make sure you got nothing on them. Then you're going to take yourself an apron, put it on like this, tie it up, take your gloves, get them on, not like that. Glove up, and we'll see you out here, and we'll get ready to bake your matzah. Don't forget kids, the entire time you're in here, you got to be doing this for the mitzvah of making matzah. So you got to start talking, screaming, going, "L'shem matzah mitzvah!" Don't forget kids, after 18 minutes is done, any dough that's not in the oven is chametz. Wait, what's this?